The real trigger for the dinosaurs' extinction might not be an asteroid. It could have been the sun. You heard that right. That star we see up there, which seems all calm and gentle, has actually been dragging the whole solar system through the galaxy at a crazy speed of 220 kilometers per second. Even crazier, the timing of several major mass extinctions on Earth lines up pretty closely with the sun's movement through the Milky Way. In other words, life's disasters might not be random at all. It's not that anything's wrong with the dinosaurs themselves. The solar system just passes through dangerous spots in space every few tens of millions of years. The dinosaurs just happen to be around at one of those times. And right now, we're still rushing along this seemingly endless track of the Milky Way. The solar system diagrams you saw in school are just simplified versions, like the 8 planets quietly orbiting the sun, as if the whole thing is a calm merry-go-round. But the reality is totally different. The sun isn't a still center, it's moving too, and the speed is insanely fast. A regular bullet flies about 1 kilometer per second, but the sun moves over 200 times faster than that. We're not just spinning in place in space, we're actually sitting on a breakless ship space, orbiting the sun while it drags us hurtling deep into the galaxy. So Earth's real path isn't a perfect circle, it's more like a stretched out spiral. The reason the sun races around the Milky Way is because there's a supermassive black hole hiding at the galaxy's center called Sagittarius A star. It's about 4 million times the mass of the sun. The sun is just a pretty average star among the hundreds of billions in the Milky Way, located near Orion's belt. About 26,000 light-years from the center of the Milky Way, it takes roughly 225 million years to complete one orbit around the galaxy. This orbit is called a galactic year. In terms of galactic years, Earth has gone through about 20 of these, but all of human civilization barely even adds up to a tiny fraction of one. What's truly unsettling isn't how far the sun travels, but the path he's taking isn't smooth. The galaxy isn't just a flat disk, it's a thick, glowing disk packed with stars, gas, and dust. The sun orbits the center of the galaxy, but while doing that, it also moves up and down through this disk, kind of like a spaceship riding giant cosmic waves, sometimes above the disk, sometimes below it. Some researchers suggest that every few tens of millions of years, when the sun gets close to or crosses through the galactic disk, the environment around the solar system might change. Fossil records on Earth even show some extinction events that seem to line up with these times. In a similar multi-million-year rhythm, keep in mind this isn't a settled fact, but still a debated scientific hypothesis. What's really unsettling about it is that if this connection isn't just a coincidence, then the fate of life on Earth isn't decided by Earth alone. It could also be quietly influenced by the sun's path through the galaxy. When the sun passes through dangerous areas, the first thing to get disturbed might be the cold outermost storage of the solar system, the Oort cloud. It's like a huge spherical shell wrapped around the solar system's edge, possibly hiding countless comets inside. Normally, these comets stay far from the sun, quietly hanging out at the dark edges and hardly affecting Earth at all. But once the solar system moves close to a star-packed region or passes near a massive molecular cloud, outside gravitational forces can act like an invisible hand. Gently stirring this cold warehouse could push the once stable comet's path off course, sending some of it toward the inner solar system. If even one hits Earth, it could rewrite the history of life here. About 65 million years ago, an asteroid roughly 10 kilometers wide crashed into Earth. The global wildfires kicked up so much dust, it blocked out the sunlight, causing drastic climate changes that eventually wiped out a huge number of species, including flying dinosaurs. The mainstream view is that the meteor likely came from the asteroid belt, but some have debated whether such an impact could have been influenced by disturbances from a much more distant comet. In other words, the sun. The real culprit might be the galaxy environment the solar system has traveled through all along, and the dangers the galaxy poses to Earth go way beyond just comets. As the sun moves around the galaxy, it also passes near the spiral arms. Spiral arms sound nice, like glowing bands on the galaxy, but they're actually the most active places for star formation, packed with young, massive stars, supernova remnants, and intense cosmic rays. If the solar system passes through a region like that, Earth wouldn't just face impacts, but also stronger cosmic rays, more interstellar dust, and even the threat of a nearby supernova explosion. If a supernova goes off close enough to Earth, its high-energy radiation could damage the ozone layer. Ultraviolet rays cutting through will probably take out the surface plankton in the ocean before any land animals. Once the base of the food chain is wiped out, the entire ecosystem collapses from the ground up. Some scientists even think that over 400 million years ago, the big mass extinction in the Ordovician period might have been caused by a gamma-ray burst or a nearby cosmic explosion. Though this isn't set in stone, it reminds us that Earth, which seems safe, is actually always exposed to changes in the cosmic environment. If you zoom out even more, you'll see that even the Milky Way itself isn't standing still. The entire galaxy, including the Sun, Earth, and everything beneath your feet, is moving at hundreds of kilometers per second, heading deep into the universe. Scientists, by studying tiny temperature differences in the cosmic microwave radiation, found that the Milky Way is being pulled by an even larger gravitational structure. Following that direction, humans discovered a mysterious region, which they later named the Giant Shadow Garden. It's like a huge cluster of mass that's quietly changing the movement of countless galaxies. But the Giant Shadow Garden isn't the final stop. It's also being pulled by the more distant Shapley supercluster. Later on, astronomers figured out from the galaxy's movements that the Milky Way and about 100,000 nearby galaxies all belong to an even bigger structure called Laniakea, which means immeasurable heaven. Sounds romantic, right? But the truth is cold and harsh. Earth just spins around the sun drags us around the galaxy, and the galaxy itself is pulled by even bigger cosmic forces. We think we're standing still, but from the moment we're born, we've been riding this unstoppable ship through the stars. What we call safety might just be because we haven't hit the next dangerous stretch.